answer, basically.
There's been no answer of all of the people I've talked to. And the sad thing is that because of my objective viewpoint, I end up seeing what the other people see. I take myself out of the fact that I know that young man and I know he's a smart guy. And I look at it for what somebody who doesn't know him sees. And when he shows that, and when I think about it from that perspective, he doesn't get a check mark as in a good thing. He gets associated with what we see on television on these shows, the criminal who's being arrested, who's standing on the corner with no job. He is being put in that category with those who are not trying to be a productive part of society.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is there's no place you can go and get a job and work efficiently with your pants hanging down like that, because guess what? You only can work with one hand. And though we got disabled or jobs that allow disabled people to work there, they're not going to allow you to.
Sagging pants is not a disability.
I think not.
Okay, right? Okay, I was going to say, I think a lot of people would like to see that if it was a disability, and it actually is a disability.
But it's self-inflicted disability.
Right.
Yeah.
But okay, when we go back to, I guess, and that ties into, just the expectations again. Part of me wants to say, have we just allowed this as a society to, just to look out and see our youth, and and I'm a school teacher, to look out and see our youth and our young men walking around like this? Have we just kind of pretty much allowed that level of, in your book you call it disrespect, and I actually do think it's a form of disrespect towards yourself that you haven't taken the necessary steps to make sure that you look appropriate when you walk out of the house. But what should we do? I mean, what should we do as a society to, I guess, raise the bar for expectations for our kids?
Well, I think that's what we need to do, simply what you just said.
Raise the bar?
Raise the bar.
By what? By what? By saying, is raising the bar saying that you need to, when you walk outside, you need to have on a suit and a tie?
No.
Or what?
You need.
How do we?
We need
relate
to
that to
redefine what we consider expectations.
Okay.
Our expectations have gotten so low that we don't even look at children in the way that we should as the future.
Yeah.
We don't look at them like that.
I hear that.
We look at them just as somebody who's living for this moment. And if this is going to be the person who's going to be making the decisions about your health care, or going to be making decisions about, a judicious decision in most cases, then we need to make sure that they at least have that perspective.
Right.
Don't just allow them to take on whatever it is they see walking about. If we do that as parents and just administrators or just adults of the kids that are coming along, then we stand a chance to raise that bar.
Wow. So what you're really saying is, as adults, as administrators, as teachers, we really, as a society as a whole, the adults in this society, we really are not expecting these kids. That's really what we're getting down. When we get down to the meat and potatoes, where the rubber meets the road, what we're saying by allowing this is that we're not expecting these kids to become anything.
Basically, we have changed our expectations to that of a minimum. Where we once were really vigilant about making sure that this child represented what he should be headed toward, we now just are happy that they are just here, which for all intents and purposes.
And we're happy that they're happy.
Yeah, and that's a problem
they're
in itself.
happy, yeah.
Because if you are someone who doesn't know anything, or you don't know anything, then it's up to us to teach you.
To teach you.
And if we don't teach you, then you're going to do exactly what you do, which is to follow the lead of those other people and persons who are in your immediate circle. And if they are not headed in a positive direction,
then we have a problem.
Then we have a problem.
Well, let's take a break for 1 second. We'll be right back in just a moment. Well, thank you for joining us here on International Television. We're just going to jump right back in our discussion about the pants hanging down, right? The saggy pants. I just think that is just so so unattractive. But and you know, that's just my opinion. But another interesting point you make in your book, you've got a chapter 3 that's titled "Cool Means What." Great chapter. You know, apparently, you know, hard work is not cool anymore, because you've noticed, as well as I've noticed, a lot of people have noticed, what seems to come easy is what people are attracted to, or what they seem to be attracted to, what the youth seem to be attracted to. How has accepting or how has accepting the easy things in life put us at a disadvantage in the country?
Overall, what it has done is made us lazy. It's made us not want to sweat. It made us not want to learn. A lot of people have an issue, you know, with studying or working out, but those things are what help create, you know, strength of mind or strength of body in the case of working out. We do that to get better. When we look at what is happening around us, everyone is, you know, working hard except a select few. And that select few is, I don't know if they recognize, but they're finding themselves kind of behind the 8-ball.
Okay, so do you view that, you know, the sagging pants, the pants hanging down, as a laziness?
Well,
or as a representation of laziness, maybe?
Well, it is. I unfortunately see that when you do it like that, you're trying to fit into one group, but you're kind of saying, I'm not going to be a part of another group. But at the end of the day, what ends up happening is you have to, as you get older, end up becoming a part of the group that you so didn't want to be a part of.
Right. We call that conformity.
Yeah. But, and you know what? And I think it's that desire to not conform that some people, you know, deem as the thing to do.
Right.
But the unfortunate part is that only lasts for a minute.
Right.
Because as you get older, you'll find that you have to pay bills just like the rest of the people. You have to go to work like the rest of the people. And as well as I know, or as many people as I know that used to be kind of in the game, you know, the street hustling and all of that, and I know a lot of them.
Okay.
They now, for the most part, have jobs. They are either no longer with us, they're locked up, but the ones who stayed here and realized that this other way was just a passing fancy.
A dead end?
It's a dead end. They now are working. And some of them are about to retire from jobs, which is a big switch, but you know, that's how it goes.
A good switch, you know, because they finally woke up and realized that, hey, everybody has to conform on some level in life. And that's really what I feel the whole pants hanging down, the sagging pants phenomenon is really about. It's really about rebellion and folks who don't want to conform, and in a lot of ways, dress. Our attire is, you know, reflecting of our mood and spirit.
Well, you know what, and I think the association with the hip hop era, and its association with just trying to do things the way that they want to. Again, I'm not anti-hip hop. I'm pro hip hop. I actually like the fact that we have these guys who are able to do what they can do and do it well. What I have a problem with is they forget that they are actually still role models. It's okay for you to display yourself in a positive light and be productive and show that you can make the money and do all of this. But there are a lot of people who are listening and watching how you handle yourselves. And when you portray the image, which is the only thing that most of them can grasp, which is the image that you put out, and you put that image out that is somehow in a loving connection with the street and the jail mentality.
Street life, yeah.
Yeah, then what you do is you give them an alternative that's not necessarily a positive one.
Right.
To depict. You know, and it's like when we do that, well, I mean, what are you saying? I'm okay living over in my mansion, but I can do that because everybody knows who I am.
Right.
But you, on the other hand, nobody knows who you are, and with you walking around down the street, getting out of the car, the law enforcement and the other people who would be more inclined to possibly give you a job automatically put you in that negative category. Where does that leave you? And if you follow that, then it leaves you out in the cold, pretty much.
Well, the funny thing is that even on the higher echelons of the entertainment business, there are still levels of conformity that those rappers and the people who